What if Darth Revan trained Darth Vader? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. Vader looks over at the battlefield and deactivates his lightsaber. He watches his stormtroopers pick through the bodies of the fallen rebels, searching for anything useful. He leaves them to it and begins walking off, already losing interest in this place. It was supposed to be a serious fight. The rebels had heavy weapons, outnumbered them, and were dug in. And yet he found no excitement in their defeat. He felt nothing. A pity. This was supposed to be the battle that got his blood boiling. But once again, he finds himself feeling empty. There is no growth, no spirit, no passion in the fighting that happened. Even as he willed himself to summon his anger, that felt more like an obligation than a true fury. It was a sensation he was well familiar with.
Disappointed, young one?
Vader whirls around to see another armored figure behind him. The man is dressed in blood-red Mandalorian armor. At first, Vader thinks he's one of Darth Maul's minions, but this figure feels different. He is too powerful to simply be a warrior. He is strong in the Force. He searches for the sentries who were supposed to be watching this command post and finds them, or what's left of them, in the corner, hacked to pieces. Vader strides forward, lightsaber flying out as he slashes at him, but his weapon meets a similar blade as Revan parries it one-handed. He pushes it aside and raises it over his head towards Vader. Their weapons flash as Vader blocks the attack, yet to his surprise, he finds himself starting to get pushed back. Vader blinks and pours more strength into it, digging deep into the dark side. But then the warrior sweeps his weapon and throws him back. Revan advances toward him once again, and Vader glimpses the aura around him. The dark side surrounds him like a cloak, radiating his pure power as he advances towards him.
You're strong in the dark side, young one, but not so strong.
Who are you?
He rushes forward and slashes his lightsaber down. Revan sidesteps but takes a glancing blow to his shoulder. He curses and looks to Vader, who tries pressing the advantage and blocks the follow-up slash.
I am not here to fight. I am here to offer my services.
And what services are those?
It seems you need a master. A true master. One who can help you learn the ways of the dark side.
I have a master.
And what a great job he's doing, sitting on his laurels, playing with mega projects while you risk your life. Tell me, when was the last time he truly trained you?
Vader's attack hesitates, and Revan blocks it. That is enough to answer. Since his transformation to Darth Vader, Palpatine has taken a strong dislike towards him, regarding him as a failure, a mere experiment to find a true apprentice. Though he had been promised power, the Emperor spent more time trying to get rid of him than truly training him.
I can give you something more, my friend. If you'll take it.
Vader hesitates, still looking in place as he pushes against Revan's lightsaber. But then, he takes a deep breath and steps back. He activates his weapon and nods. Revan chuckles and does the same, and gestures to him to follow, taking him towards his ship, where HK-47 is waiting.
Greetings. Master. I see the disfigured meatbag did not have to die after all. Well, it appears I owe you 20 credits.
Just get us out of here without the Imperials noticing, and I'll call it even. And play some entertainment.
The droid nods, and their ship takes off. But as they retreat, HK-47 activates the screen above their seats and plays some footage from the holofeed. Footage of corruption from all across the galaxy. The excesses of the senators, the exploitation of the Outer Rim, even classified footage of Imperial facilities as they make great weapons of war. These are mixed in with images of senators attending fine galas and balls, and Imperial officers drinking the finest wines. Vader knows all of this and more. He knows that it is even worse behind closed doors.
I once overthrew an empire just like this, one who had forgotten what they were fighting for. I see the legacy of the old Republic is still as strong as ever.
We are not the same.
Query. And what exactly makes you different? That you call yourself an empire? That your Jedi call themselves inquisitors, and are somehow even more incompetent? Argument. You have the galaxy on its knees, and you waste its wealth on vanity superweapons.
The droid speaks truly. When someone continues to act as if they are always at war, then it is only a matter of time before someone challenges them. Power invites challenge. To be a Sith means to understand that.
My master is the most powerful being in the galaxy.
Perhaps today, but what if tomorrow? There will always be one to challenge him. The difference is, will you be like this Empire and do nothing until that time comes? Or will you change with the galaxy?
I am more machine than man now. The force powers I command are greatly diminished.
Correction. The loss of your soft meatbag flesh does not make you weaker. On the contrary, such an adjustment should strengthen you.
The Force flows like a river, Vader. Its power branches off in many ways, and those willing to explore it will find many ways to use it.
Vader looks at the pair and is surprised at the surge of something within him. A great fire he had thought was long extinguished, and yet now it begins to burn within him once again. Revan's first lesson is in generalship. While Vader might not be a superior Force user to Palpatine, he can still be a superior general, and Revan shows him just how. He teaches that the Force is more than some cudgel meant to batter the enemy into submission. It is a powerful tool that, if utilized properly, can shape the course of a battle. He shows Vader this through battle meditation. Taking the guise of a bounty hunter under the Dark Lord's employment, he joins him on the campaign. There, the two spend hours meditating, teaching Vader to make connections to his troops, to understand their morale, to see their strengths, and to search for opportunities, and to take advantage of it. To Revan, battles are a great burning fire, and to win them is to find where it burns hottest and unleash it so it may consume their enemies. The first test of this comes on Mandalore, where some clans have taken up arms against the Empire. Here the warriors prove to be more of a challenge than the average rebels. They are well trained and vicious, fighting until the very end. They've already inflicted a series of defeats on the Empire, prompting Vader to send reinforcements there. The fires of war rage across Mandalore. Blaster bolts streak through the air, painting the battlefield in flashes of red and blue. The Imperial walkers press forward through the ruined cityscape, their massive forms crushing debris beneath their durasteel feet. But the Mandalorians fight back with ferocity, striking from the rooftops, using their jetpacks to rain death upon the stormtroopers below. The Empire is struggling. Entire platoons of stormtroopers fall beneath Mandalorian ambushes. Explosives rip apart AT-STs. Imperial forces, though disciplined, falter against warriors who have known battle since birth. From atop a command platform, Darth Vader watches. He sees the battle, but not the flow of it. His forces are losing, not for lack of strength, but for lack of understanding. Vader closes his eyes and reaches out with the Force, not to kill, but to see. For the first time, he senses his troops as more than just soldiers. He feels their fear, their uncertainty. But deeper still, he feels the battle itself and the shifting movements, the shifting tides, the breaking points. And then, he finds it. The left flank. It moves differently from the others. More precision, more coordination, unlike the chaotic clashes elsewhere, which only move small units. This area coordinates larger formations, something only possible with superior command. The heart of the resistance, the fire that burns hottest.
That is where we strike.
Like a spear of darkness, Vader leads his forces forward. With HK-47 at his side, they carve through the Mandalorian ranks. HK moves with clinical precision, his blasters felling warriors in rapid succession.
Proclamation. Ah, the sweet screams of meatbags in their final moments. Master, you truly know how to make an assassin droid feel alive.
Vader does not answer. He moves through the battlefield like a storm, his blade cutting through Mandalorian steel and flesh alike. His battle meditation strengthens his soldiers, guiding them, fueling them with purpose. The Mandalorians begin to waver. Bo-Katan Kryze sees the shift too late. She turns to rally her warriors, but the shadow of Vader is already upon her. The dark saber ignited, crackling with black energy. Sabine steps between them and readies her weapon. She whirls and strikes back at him. Red meets black in a brutal clash. Sabine fights with everything she has, every ounce of Mandalorian defiance burning in her soul. But she isn't fighting just any opponent. Vader blocks each strike with almost lazy disregard as HK-47 leaps up from behind and fires upon Bo-Katan and the others. In his other hand, he sweeps an electro staff around. Sabine lunges forward, activating her jetpack to try and charge toward him. But Vader steps aside and slams the hilt of his lightsaber on her thrusters and sends her spiraling. She barely manages to leap out from the malfunctioning jetpack just as Vader lunges forward and slices her neck between the armor. However, he has no time to rest as Kanan Jarrus and Ezra Bridger charge in, their blue blades igniting in unison. Vader blocks clumsy blaster shots and then rushes in, blocking against both their attacks. He can sense the anger raging through them from the death of their friend, and both attack furiously. But the fury they muster up is nothing against Vader. Kanan is controlled, disciplined, but defensive. Ezra is raw, powerful, but reckless. But it isn't enough. He slides back and forth from their attacks, none so much as grazing him, as from the corner of his eye, HK takes hold of Bo-Katan and begins to squeeze the life out of her. Kanan rushes at him, trying to take advantage of this distraction, but Vader shifts his stance and intercepts this strike. Then, with a twist of his blade, he slashes him across the chest and sends him falling to the ground. Ezra's screams of rage is his undoing. He lunges, blind with fury. Vader catches his wrist mid-swing, twists, and drives his crimson blade through the boy's chest. The Jedi are dead. When he looks around, he sees that Zeb, Chopper, and Hera have also fallen to HK-47. As resistance begins to slacken, Revan orders a counterattack, the Imperials smashing into the confused Mandalorians. By the time Revan finds them, Vader feels something stirring inside him. His blood was boiling in the way it hadn't in a long time. It is one thing to win a battle, but it is another to completely control a battle, to do the unexpected and win despite the odds being against them, to light a fire in the heart of a battlefield.
This brings back memories.
He picks up the darksaber and chuckles.
Statement. Ah, such artistry. Master, I must say, you have truly embraced the joy of efficiency in slaughter.
You've done well. You are ready for your next lesson.
Revan smiles and takes Vader away from the battlefield. He takes him to begin learning how to harness these powers. Now that the spark has been lit in Vader, it is time to make use of it. The dark side feeds on emotion and passion, but the way that Vader harnesses it with his suit is far from ideal. While it can certainly bring about pain, it is too clinical and focused on efficiency rather than passion.
That energy you felt in the heart of battle, that must be your weapon for victory. You were able to light a fire on that battlefield, but the greatest infernos come from within.
Through battle meditation, Revan shows Vader how to feed off the anger and fear of the soldiers around him, just as the Jedi feed on the support from their soldiers to help them survive in battle. Each time Vader leads a campaign, he keeps close watch of his soldiers, channeling his battle meditation to reach into them. In some, he senses their anger and disgust towards the rebels. In others, there is fear and uncertainty. Both allow him to channel the dark side, which leads to Revan's third lesson.
The Jedi teach us that the Force is in everything. True enough, but they like to believe it is only the light side. Only good and just things appear in the Force. Not true. Even the most honorable and just beings sometimes feel the darkness within them. They might not show it, but the darkness has crossed their mind.
Agreement. Indeed. Even the most upright senators have considered eliminating their rivals, and even those pure-hearted Jedi have at least once thought about letting their powers go wild. In these momentary lapses, one can learn much about their foes.
Revan teaches him to concentrate, to dig deep into this energy, finding it no matter where it is buried, and reaching for it. It is like a lifeline, and once he has hold of it, he can unleash it upon his foes and destroy them from within. To this end, Revan takes Vader to Kashyyyk. In the dense jungle planet, the pair meditate in a massive Warsher tree overlooking a Wookiee frontier village.
Watch those Wookiees. Even in my time, they were famed for their ferocity, but also their honor. Make no mistake, though. Underneath that composed exterior is a monster waiting to be unleashed. It is a wonder they don't tear off people's arms more often. Close your eyes. Concentrate.
Vader took a deep breath as he observed some of the hunters walking through the village. They prepare themselves for a major hunt, and Vader reaches out to their presence. He feels them, their hesitation, their nervousness, and their eagerness. But there is something more. A thrill. A savage rage waiting to unleash their fury on something without guilt. It is a power, clawing in their very souls and waiting to get out.
It is much like this planet. Kashyyyk is a primal place, one where one must be quick, cunning and strong to survive. The dark side is not hidden here. It is welcome, and those willing to unleash it have good reason to. But that is not the only reason. This place was built on the dark side through a great builder forge, similar to the machine I used in the Old Republic. It is a power like no other, and I am prepared to share it with you, if you are ready.
I am.
Revan guides him away from the shadowed canopies, but little do they know, a probe droid is secretly observing everything they are doing, reporting it to the Emperor. Since their success on Mandalore and numerous successes on other battlefields, Palpatine has noticed the changes in Vader. He sees how much stronger he has become, and how much more energetic he seems. For a moment it seems like he might pose a threat and begin to surpass him. The Emperor wishes to learn how, and sends this droid to follow him. Together, the two leave on a shuttle, cutting through hyperspace past the chartered territories and heading into the unknown regions. Despite that, Revan moves purposefully, knowing exactly where they are going and dismissing Vader's concerns as they approach the floating facility. The Starforge. A monstrous construct of ancient Sith design, suspended within the gravity well of a dying star. Its dark metal gleams with an eerie pulsating energy, an energy steeped in the dark side. Vader steps forward, feeling the unnatural pulse of power emanating from the forge. It is not just a factory, it is alive.
This place was my greatest weapon. Built by the Rakata, fueled by the Force itself. It creates more than ships, more than weapons.
And you mean for me to wield it?
Perhaps. It is incredibly dangerous to use, and even I never harnessed its full potential. But the Starforge is consumed by the dark side. Those who are weak-willed are consumed by it. Even I was not immune. You must learn to take from it only what you need. It can give you strength.
Vader steps onto the central platform, standing within the heart of the Starforge. Revan watches as the energy pulses around him, tendrils of dark side energy licking at the edges of his armor.
Do not take. Feel. The Forge will offer you power freely, but it will demand more in return. Take too much, and it will devour you. You say your powers are cut off. Well, let this place make you whole once more.
Vader closes his eyes, reaching out with the Force. The energy of the Force surges around him. He feels strength, renewal, a force unlike anything he's ever touched. His limbs, cold metal and cybernetic servos, react to it. The dark side seeps into them, not as a corrupting influence, but as a force of renewal. The pain that has haunted him since Mustafar fades for the first time. His fingers tighten into a fist. The suit no longer feels like a prison. It feels like an extension of his will.
Good. Now we make war.
Armed with his newfound power, Vader leads a renewed Imperial onslaught against the Rebel Alliance. Fleet after fleet falls before him. His battle meditation is now his sharpest blade, a dagger able to find the weak spots in enemy armor. And Vader savors finding it. Those movements give him energy, pulling him into victory after victory on Jedha, Lothal, and Mon Cala. The rebellion, once a rising tide, is now drowning. Throughout the campaign, Palpatine watches from the shadows. He sees the change in Vader. His apprentice, once a broken shell of a Sith Lord, now moves with purpose, with power. No longer a submissive, caged beast, but something more. Through his spies, he learns of the Starforge. He studies it, reaching out with the dark side, searching for its echoes across time and space. And he feels something old, an ancient being whose essence never disappeared. He marvels how someone could cling to life in a place like this, but Palpatine already suspects who this might be and smiles. He begins to pull out his texts, studying how he might raise the dead. He recalls how the Night Sisters have done it before and decides to provide a nice surprise for them. After Revan and Vader depart for another mission, Palpatine begins his ritual. He reaches out deep with the force of the Starforge. He channels for the lost essence of that Dark Lord, and soon he gets his answer. The room shudders. The shadows elongate unnaturally. He speaks ancient words, a chant that rattles the very air. The Force bends, the veil between life and death thinning.
You dare call upon me?
I do not ask for your service, Malik.
I offer you a deal.
The shadows congeal into a shape, a spectral figure in dark Sith armor, his lower jaw missing, replaced by a cruel metal prosthetic. Darth Malak.
Revan lives, and with him the one who seeks to usurp me. So it seems we share a common foe. You would see them destroyed. I offer you their bodies, Malak. Revan's for revenge, Vader's for rebirth. Help me, and I will grant you a second life. Then let it be done.
Revan and Vader step off their shuttle onto the Starforge's command deck. The station hums beneath them, its dark heart pulsing with ancient hunger. But something is wrong. The presence does not feel as dormant. Something feels too alive and hungry.
We are not alone.
From the shadows, a voice slithers toward them.
You have hidden much from me, my apprentice.
The air splits as Palpatine emerges from the void, his golden eyes gleaming with malice. But he is not alone. The shadows deepen, and beside him, Malak's wraith takes form.
Your time is over, Revan. And you, Vader, your body will be mine. You will try.
Statement. Malak, it will be most enjoyable to see you die a second time.
HK, as annoying as ever.
Vader and HK-47 launch themselves at Palpatine. The Sith Lord cackles, hurling arcs of Sith lightning. HK-47 dodges effortlessly, his sonic blaster spewing death and forcing Palpatine to leap off his platform just as Vader slashes at him. Palpatine ducks under the attack and brings up his lightsaber to block the strike. When their weapons meet, it unleashes a burst of energy that leaves the walls shaking. Vader grits his teeth and unleashes his own burst of energy, unleashing a shockwave of force energy that carves molten scars against the wall. Beside them, Revan meets Malak's wraith head-on. Their sabers clash, ethereal sparks flying. Malak fights like a beast unleashed, his spirit fueled by pure vengeance. Rather than move carefully, he rushes like a demon fueled by the dark energy, moving inhumanly fast and putting Revan on the defensive. Though he blocks each attack, he senses the growing power as their blades are a maelstrom of crimson energy. Revan ducks and weaves through each attack before springing forward and slashing at him. Malak uses the Force to redirect this attack before thrusting a hand out and blasting him with lightning that sends Revan flying back. As he sits up, he sees just how powerful Malak is, as the darkness seeps out of him and tries to lash out like a physical being. Revan rises to his feet and tries to throw them back. Vader moves with terrifying precision, his newfound mastery making him faster. HK-47 leaps up and throws a pair of grenades toward Palpatine, but the Emperor directs them to the wall. Seeing them shaken loose, Vader uses the Force to send the debris falling towards him. Palpatine spins and avoids the attack, spinning around and rushing at him. The Dark Lord responds with something unfamiliar, a burst of lightning that pushes Palpatine back to block the attack. But as he is on the defensive, HK-47 strikes, unleashing a burst from his blasters that throws him back, and Vader leaps on ahead with his lightsaber in hand. For the first time, Palpatine screams as the lightsaber digs into his stomach. Revan cuts through Malak's spectral form, forcing the Wraith back, but as he glances back, the scream causes Malak to turn and see Palpatine falling. Seeing the battle turn against them, the spirit makes his final move.
Your body is weak, Palpatine.
Palpatine barely has time to react before Malak's spirit lunges into him. A horrific scream echoes through the chamber. Palpatine convulses, his body twisting as Malak takes hold. His form bulges with renewed strength, his eyes blazing with unnatural fury.
Yes, at last, I live once more.
He rushes at the two warriors, though HK-47 tries to slow him down with force energy. Malak does not stop, and it takes the two crossing their lightsabers to stop him, but the energy throws them back and sends them skidding. Malak laughs, and his lightsaber moves with inhuman speed, slashing across him with wild energy radiating off of him. The two try to hold him back, trying to block his strikes. Anakin is tempted to strike back. He summons the energy around him and rushes to meet him. He lunges forward and unleashes a quick set of attacks. Yet Malak simply laughs and blocks each strike before using the Force to throw him back. The dark energy is practically emanating off of him, and is something Vader cannot compete with. Each time he strikes, Vader struggles to even stay alive. Meanwhile, Revan sweeps his lightsaber to cover this weakness. He blocks Malak's strikes and aims at Anakin and pushes forward into his defenses to shoulder ram him. Rather than fall, Malak flips back and laughs.
Well struck, but not enough.
He thrusts his hand out and unleashes a burst of lightning. Revan raises his weapon and blocks it, but then unleashes his own burst of energy.
We can't win with strength. We must find his weakness.
Vader closes his eyes and takes a deep breath, reaching out to Malak, sensing him past the hate, past the anger and rage that has consumed him. He finds it, a hunger, a desperation for energy from the Starforge. He is no longer a master of the dark side. He is its prisoner. Vader sees his moment. With a sudden brutal strike, he shoves Malak backward. When Malak slashes at him, he ducks under the attack and uses the Force to throw him back directly into the reactor. The Starforge reacts violently. The energy pours into Palpatine's stolen form, consuming him whole. His screams turn to inhuman shrieks, his body bulging, cracking, disintegrating.
No! I am the Lord!
And then he is gone. A blinding explosion engulfs the chamber, tendrils of dark energy lashing outward. Vader and Revan stand amidst the wreckage.
You saw the flaw. You are ready.
As the trio emerges from the chaos of the Starforge, and Vader swiftly takes command of the Empire, those who question him are dealt with quickly by HK-47, and Revan serves as his general, starting to rebuild the Empire. First, they begin eliminating corrupt officials, with Revan using his vast experience to guide Vader into ruling his empire. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.